When you put out your music on Spotify, is it content or is it premium content? Hey, it's John here at Hyped It, and in this video I want to talk about a topic that I think I have never talked about before in a YouTube video, which is the question of whether the music you publish on Spotify is content or premium content. And here's where this is coming from. Spotify recently announced some changes to their royalty model in 2024, and I posted videos about this here on this YouTube channel. The comments from you guys about the changes that are coming up on Spotify really varied, with some artists being supportive, but others saying they would pull their music off of Spotify. Now, I shared that I'm not gonna pull any music off of Spotify because even if some of my streams would get demonetized, the net benefit of having my music on Spotify and be shared and distributed by the algorithm that helped me literally reach hundreds of thousands of listeners and streams is much, much greater. And just on a side note, in a previous video on this topic, I talked about how to promote your music in a way that is very likely not going to get any of your streams demonetized. Let me leave a link above here if this is something you want to check out. But what occurred to me when I read some of the comments from music artists who said they're going to pull their music off of Spotify was that they consider their music be a form of premium content, a form of content that needs to be paid for in order for fans to access it. And while as a music artist myself, I obviously totally agree that music is valuable, I don't consider all of my music as premium content. In the past, I've spoken about my attitude and my business model that is to consider my music marketing material, marketing media. I make music to put myself out there and to reach an audience. But what I'm making money on as a musician is something else. It's my merchandise, like my t-shirts, it's my sample packs, it's my synth patches. It's this type of content that I make in order to allow music fans to connect with me and my music genre, and for others who are also creators to make music that sounds similar to mine. And so against this background, I started asking myself this question: what is content and what is premium content for independent music artists like us? And here's what I came up with. Content is what you put out there to promote yourself. And content of that nature is available to everybody. So to me, that's anything you might post on Instagram, on Facebook, or TikTok. That's also the music you upload to Spotify, and that's the videos that you upload to YouTube. Even though some of this content might earn you royalties, which is a great side benefit, the primary purpose of this content is to promote yourself, and that's why you're putting it on these platforms where it's literally available to everyone. And yes, that includes Spotify, because fans can just sign up for Spotify for free with ad-supported memberships and still get access to your music. So content is for promotion and it's public. But premium content, on the other hand, is what you put out to monetize yourself. And so it's not publicly available, it's only available to those who pay for it. And that's the big difference that I see between content and premium content when it comes to Spotify. So now you might be wondering, John, what are some examples of premium content then? There's probably no limit to what could qualify as premium content as long as it is exclusive and only for those fans who pay for it. But just to give you a few examples, that could be exclusive downloads. That could be membership in private communities or fan clubs. Think of something like Patreon, for example. It can also be exclusive experiences. So for example, a meet and greet with the artist or the band. And to me, it can also be physical music, or it can be merchandise like t-shirts. And so that's the big difference between content and premium content when it comes to Spotify. Spotify, in my opinion, is all content. And even though I earn a royalty when that content is consumed, I view that as a side benefit, not as the pure purpose. The pure purpose of that content is to reach as big of an audience that can then offer premium content to. And you can do this by capturing email addresses, for example, with Spotify pre-saves. You can do this by linking your merch store to Spotify so fans can literally see some of your premium content on Spotify itself. And that's where the money is. Now, what's interesting, and for a long time it's been the same for me, is that most artists have a strategy for their content. But a lot of artists do not have a strategy for their premium content. And I think it's in those situations where I can understand that artists might get frustrated about a lack of royalties coming from Spotify, because they don't have a premium content strategy yet that can be put on, that can build on top of the Spotify royalties. And so they just get disappointed by the lack of money that's coming from Spotify alone. So my big call to action here is, don't just limit yourself to a growth strategy for your content, but also develop a growth strategy for your premium content. If you nail both of these, there's no limit how far you can go as an independent artist. Just remember, the purpose of content is to make you famous. The purpose of premium content is to make you money. And so you promote content and you ultimately sell premium content. And as of right now, I think music on Spotify is content. Now, what's really interesting and fascinating is the idea of what if Spotify would open up premium content opportunities for independent music artists like us? What if in a couple years from now, Spotify wasn't just a platform where fans would stream all kinds of music, but for an extra fee, let's say $1 a month or $2 a month, fans could access exclusive content that you upload to Spotify that is only available to those fans that specifically subscribe to you. Twitch has already done something like this. YouTube has done something like this. So why not Spotify? So the reason I'm saying this is because all the music on Spotify today is just content, but there's no reason why Spotify couldn't also support premium content for financial benefits to the artists on the platform in the future. So here you have it, just another wish list item for Spotify. I gotta put it on my letter to Santa, right? Artist centering royalties, now premium content monetization on Spotify. All those things will be amazing and would just make this platform so much more valuable for us independent music artists. But for me personally, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna build and market my premium content parallel to my content. I'm just going to do it outside of Spotify for now, which is something I'm going to dive deeper into in a future video on this channel. Now, with that said, I hope you liked the video. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell icon below. And if you're looking to get a lot more listeners, streams, and fans for your content on Spotify fast and leverage the same tools and strategy that I've been using to grow my music from virtually nothing to now into the millions of streams, then check out this next clip here right now. Want to get your music heard on Spotify with AI? I just launched a brand new video training program called the Spotify Growth Switch, where I show you how to start growing real listeners, real fans, and real streams on Spotify in less than 10 minutes using software and AI. I've used the Spotify Growth Switch system to now grow my music to over 7 million streams and tens of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. This works for any music genre. It gets you real fans and listeners super fast, and it's extremely easy to set up, literally just like flipping a spotlight switch for your music. Despite using AI, you don't need to know nothing about tech stuff in order to be successful with this. I've had the tremendous privilege of helping multiple tens of thousands of music artists grow their music on Spotify, many of which have grown to much larger numbers, lots more listeners, lots more streams than I have using the systems that I've taught. Makes me so proud of their success. And so if you want to get more real listeners, real fans, and real streams for your music fast using state-of-the-art software and AI, then click the link below this video and check out the Spotify Growth Switch. I can't wait to help you grow your music on Spotify, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.